What's up, everybody? This is the Inner Circle Podcast, episode 11. How you feel, Colton?
Feel pretty fired up.
That's good. Hey, so did y'all like episode 10? Or what? Because I thought that was pretty good. I just want to thank everybody for being here. Thank everybody for coming. So we're going to get into something that we've been watching. Want to tell everybody what we've been watching?
By the way, spoilers.
Oh, yeah, we're spoiling it all, baby.
We're spoiling it. So if you don't want to be spoiled on What If,
Skip like...
Loki, or
Skip
any stuff
5
more,
minutes.
go ahead, skip like 5 minutes forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll check the time to make sure we do 5 minutes for y'all.
It should be 5 minutes. Anyway, Marvel's a genius, bro.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good.
The way they ended Loki to start off What If was crazy.
Yeah.
Just like killing that king to start a whole new timeline.
Yeah.
And it's showing all the different timelines in What If.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that was good.
And I like how the Watcher like intervenes with Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah. No, it's because Doctor Strange had got so powerful from like absorbing all the...
Yeah.
Those
and he was like, you can stop
creatures.
this. And he's like,
he could see him.
Even if I could, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, savage.
Dang. And then what's crazy is that at the very, very end, like he still exists. Like he still exists, but his whole universe doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So he's literally going to be there for like the rest of the eternity, I guess.
Yes, I don't know.
Just floating in space in that little pod.
That's wild.
Can you imagine being alone like that?
And you can't die. So.
And you can't die. So he's just going to be alive forever. And his whole universe is gone and he's going to be in that little bubble.
He didn't listen. Bro, that episode was crazy. That episode had me on the edge of my seat.
Do you think that someone's going to find him?
No.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, because you know how some people, they travel from different universes? I don't even think his will even pop up. Like if they have like a little map or whatever, because it doesn't even exist.
That's crazy, bro. Like her death was imminent. Like you're not changing that.
Yeah, it was an absolute, what did it say? An
absolute death. That's what it was.
An absolute point or something like that.
Yeah, it was an absolute point in time because without her dying, he would
never become Doctor Strange, basically.
Yeah. Because he even left her and then her apartment blew up.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, bruh. He even took her to dinner and then someone shot her.
Yeah.
And then
they went to a different
She
place.
drove and she still crashed.
And
she still crashed.
Yeah. Like, he did everything that he could.
He even drove slow and still died.
Still died. It was crazy.
That was wild.
Yeah, because I was like, maybe he has to do something different. But then even whenever he didn't even go pick her up, she still died.
Yeah. And then you think about it, like how many times he went back and did it, kept doing it, and kept doing it.
He kept doing it over and over and over and over and over again.
Oh, I saw the Shang-Chi trailer. Is that Abomination in the movie?
Yeah, I think so. Wong's supposed to be in it too.
Wong is in it.
Yeah.
That's why, they said that's where Wong's leaving in the Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah, in the Spider-Man trailer.
He's going to go see Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
It's supposed to take place like right after Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard, at least. I'm trying to go watch it.
Spider-Man Far From Home. I need to watch it again.
Yo, if y'all haven't seen the Spider-Man trailer, oh my god.
They're dropping a new trailer in October. And they said
we talked about the Spider-Man trailer last time, right?
They're dropping the new one in October.
But we're going to report on that.
We're going to do a live podcast at the movie theater.
We're going to do a video.
Live reaction.
A live reaction video. No, we can actually do that. We'll think about it. We'll talk about it. But anyways, we're going to go in. So all the people who skipped, stop right here. Come back. It's about 4 minutes in. Y'all back? All right, cool. So if y'all haven't seen, I did a poll. Y'all have to follow my own Instagram, though. It wasn't on the Inner Circle Instagram. And I did a poll because I was thinking about some things. And one of them was like about being transparent and being vulnerable and how it's kind of weird to do that nowadays. Like, it's kind of weird to be vulnerable with not only your family, but with other people too that you hold close in your inner circle. Like, this is what we're about. We're about your inner circle and your friends and your family. And, just being able to grow closer to people and to be able to even be a better person yourself. So one of my questions that I asked everybody, which I'm going to ask you too, because I don't think you voted. Did you vote on my Instagram? Probably not, right?
I had a busy week.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Mr. Busy. The first question was, which do you struggle with more? Being transparent, which basically means being honest about anything, or being vulnerable? Which one do you struggle with more?
Mm, what is your, like, explain vulnerability.
So vulnerability basically means that, well, I mean, transparency and vulnerability kind of go hand in hand. It can kind of be the same thing, just depending on what the situation is. But being vulnerable basically means being able to show your true emotions, like be able to show it.
Probably, yeah.
Being vulnerable?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know what mine is.
I feel like I can't, like, it's hard to like segue your way through a bunch of things and like not show emotions.
What do you mean?
So like you go through something and then some people you don't know they're going through something because they don't show it type
Yeah.
stuff. And they don't want to, like, I'm good at that.
Good at not showing your
Yeah.
emotions?
I'm good at just like pushing things aside. You could say.
So then you would say that you struggle with being vulnerable.
Yeah.
But also that's also being transparent in a way too, because it's you being honest about how you feel.
But that would be honest with myself. Like,
Yeah, so that's the next question actually that we're segueing into too. So do you struggle with being more honest with others or yourself?
probably myself.
Mm.
Yeah.
In what way can you say that?
Like if you know something's not good for you, but it's like it's intervening with like your daily lifestyle and you know it, but it also feels good or it also makes you feel better or whatever, you know.
To not what? To not be honest?
To not be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And like what I'm trying to say is, like, say you have like drugs, alcohol, whatever, you know, any type of addiction, being honest with yourself as in, hey, this ain't good for you, you know? But it's hard to tell yourself that because there's like a feel good moment in it. So
Yeah.
I think it's pretty difficult, especially like living in the world, you know, to have basically feelings on the feel of something, the feel of a drug, the feel of alcohol, the feel of sex, the feel of just anything, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I should have said the percentages too. So the percentages of people who voted that they struggle with transparency and vulnerability. So 26% of people said they struggle with transparency and 74% said they struggle with being more vulnerable. And then the being honest with yourself or others. So 74% of people said they struggle more with being honest with themselves, and 26% said others. So it's kind of the same thing, but they're literally about the same thing. And hold on, let me answer the question too before we move on. I think what I struggle with more is probably being honest with myself too. I think that's like the one that everybody's choosing to. So obviously we could see that there's some kind of correlation and some kind of pattern that everybody kind of goes through. And the last question is, are you more vulnerable with your friends or your family? So go ahead. What do you think about yourself?
I say it's like 50-50.
50-50?
Yeah.
That's good.
Because I feel like Dom Toretto, my friends are my family.
Nah, I don't count. You know what I mean?
Nah, yeah. Nah, yeah, it's 50-50. Kind of. All the friends I have, I've known them forever.
Yeah.
So I kind of when you enter like the 10-year span.
Yeah.
It's different than being a friend with someone for like 2 years.
Yeah. So then, what about like with your mom or your brother or your sister? Do you find yourself being able to be vulnerable with them? Can you say it out loud so people can hear you?
Dude, I like drew a blank on what vulnerability was.
What?
I don't know how.
Do you find yourself being able to talk about your feelings and express yourself more?
I don't know why my mind just drew a blank on that.
So are you able to do that with your mom and your brother?
I tell my mom, my brother, and sister how I feel and stuff. So it's a lot. It's a lot easier to do it with friends for me.
Okay, so you would find yourself being more vulnerable with your friends and family. Yeah, that's a correlation actually too, because 67% of people said they're more vulnerable with their friends, and 33% of people said they're more vulnerable with family.
Yeah.
So obviously, we got some things to talk about. So let's go to the very, very beginning one again. About struggling with transparency and vulnerability. So I think that we kind of live in a world where if you talk about how you feel or you try to be vulnerable, you either get shot down or made fun of. Like, oh, that hurt your feelings? Well, then you're probably weak. Or this hurt you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's probably your fault. And people don't really know how to. People don't really know how to express their feelings, and a lot of it too also does have to do with mental health, being able to be vulnerable and everything like that. And a lot of it too also is how you grew up, depending on how you were treated while you were growing up. So let's say, for example, if you grew up in a very abusive household, you couldn't really show that you were weak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you couldn't, because you had to be strong through those moments, and then that will affect you later on in life. And that's why there's also generational curses and everything like that too, that you have to recognize, you have to point it out in yourself to be able to move forward from that. Because I think that as people, we should normalize being more vulnerable with friends and family, because then people wouldn't feel alone. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, from what we voted here, when people said they voted with vulnerability, they struggle with that more. Obviously, you're not alone. And even transparency too, with not being able to be honest. Even people voted with that. So let's get that one out of the way first. You shouldn't feel alone in these situations, because you should know that you're not, because a lot of people struggle with those kind of things. But also too, I would bring up mental health, because a lot of the times people don't have the chance to tell other people how they feel about certain situations, or have the chance to even express themselves. And I remember I was talking to one of my friends on the phone, and I was telling them that in certain cultures, it's also like that too. Because I was telling them, coming from a Mexican culture or whatever like that, right? Mexican family, that we weren't really no one really showed how they really felt. You know what I mean? And nobody really did that. And then I started saying, like, even in Asian cultures too, that's not what happened. So then we started talking about how a lot of them struggle with mental health issues. So did you know? So I started talking about this. So did you know that in Japan, they don't get vacations from work?
Why?
They don't get any vacations, because over there it's all about work, what you could do, production, what you could do, and how much you could provide and everything like that. And that's it. And obviously you can't take days off because you're feeling sick, or like you're not even if you're actually sick. So let's say one day, I don't know, let's say something unfortunate happened, like somebody you love died. You can't take off the next day because you look lazy. Isn't that crazy? And did you know that their suicide rate is also really, really high though? Also, because they don't have time like that. Actually, they do get vacation. You want to know what it is? They get half a day off. So not even the full day. It's just half a day.
That's too much. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Isn't that crazy?
And people take America for granted.
Yeah, but even here, we only get 2 weeks off. Well, some places they give you more. But did you know that in some European countries, they get about a month or two off of vacation?
But a lot of stuff.
Consecutively. Like, it's not like overtime. Like, they get like 2 months off. And they do the full 2 months.
That'll be nice. That'll be nice.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I think that would be nice. My job just told me.
It would be amazing.
That'd be cool. My job just came up and said, "Hey, Cole, go ahead and take 2 months off. Paid.
And it's paid.
Paid. It's chill. Paid. We'll see you in about 2 months." Guess what I'm doing? I'm not asking questions.
I'm leaving.
I'm walking out.
I might not even come back, to be honest with you.
Nah, I'll come back. Because you're going to give me another 2 months next year. That'd be crazy. I'd do that. But they get to pick the months. I'd do that.
I don't know if they get, I don't know.
I'm saying, I'd be like, if your job did that, but they got to pick the months.
That's still fine too.
I'd be okay
with that. But just imagine how much better they must feel compared to people who live in other countries where they only get like a day off or something like that.
Yeah.
Like how much better they feel. You know what I mean? I can only imagine what I would do with 2 months off. Oh my gosh. And also another thing too, is that some people, this is a, what now? Should I say this? Yeah, I'm going to say it. So some people, they're only vulnerable when they drink. You know what I'm saying? Look at you. Why you look like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that just goes to show you that how much we struggle with being vulnerable is that we need certain outside things to even try to be.
It's like a trigger point.
Yeah, because we can't do it by ourselves. And that's really sad. Like some people have to be drunk or high or anything like that, just to be vulnerable with certain people. And it's very, very sad that we even have to be like that. What do you feel about that? What do you think about that?
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah, and I think people should run away from that.
Run away from what?
If you get like really drunk or really high and you just start like, yeah, blah, 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 start talking about your life, I just think that you should stop drinking and smoking until you figure out what's your problem. Until you figure out your problem,
because it's a crutch.
Because then again, I think it gets worse from that. From that point out, it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, it's true. And then about transparency. So why do you think that people? Let's start with being honest with others. Why do you think some people struggle with being honest with others?
Because they don't want people to know.
They're
ashamed.
Ashamed. You think
some people are ashamed.
Ashamed of what? What would you say?
Their situation.
Their situation?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think so too. I think also too it could just be a number of things, honestly. Because some people they lie to feel better about themselves, and some people just can't stop lying. Like they just keep lying.
They start believing their own lie.
Yeah, and then that goes into not being able to be honest with yourself.
Like, yeah, bro, I'm 6'4", and then the doctor says you're 5'8". Nah, bro, how? I'm 6'4". I was just 6'4" yesterday.
No, you're 5'8".
Sir, I don't know how that's possible, but you're 5'8".
That's a lot of inches to lose just in one day.
Yeah, I can relate to that one. I'm just playing.
What?
Nah, but I think that was when you talk about vulnerability, people need to understand that even if there is a situation you're going through, there's other people that go through that situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to create a path for yourself to get to that obstacle if you're going to do it by yourself.
That's true.
Because I think there are times where you can't do something by yourself.
I don't think. Yeah, I think it's always good to have a support group to help you.
You got to have that strong foundation.
Mm-hmm. So, what would you say is one of the reasons why people struggle with being honest with themselves?
What would I say is a reason?
Yeah, what would you say is one of the reasons why?
Being ashamed.
Being honest with themselves?
Oh, with themselves? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can go into being ashamed too on that one. You could also say that going back to like when they like to had the feel good going to like drugs and alcohol or sex or something like that because it makes you feel good. And you know it's not good for you, but you keep lying to yourself and telling you that it's good for you.
Yeah, I would say why people struggle. One of the things that people struggle with when it comes to being honest with themselves, maybe it has to do with like pain, because you don't want to have to deal with certain things in terms of like you have, let's say, maybe you struggle with being angry, right? And you don't want to address it. Everybody's telling you, yeah, you're just probably an angry person. I mean, they probably wouldn't say it like that, but you know what I mean. It's really hard for them to be honest with themselves because then they have to deal with it. And then they have to deal with the fact that, okay, well, maybe I do struggle with anger. Well, why do I struggle with anger? And then they have to look into why that even happened to them. Maybe something happened to them early in life, and then they have to deal with that pain. You know what I'm saying? They have to deal with that situation. And maybe that's what people are afraid to do. Maybe some people are afraid to try to deal with certain things like that. Even though at the end of the day, it'll be good for them. Like, you have to feel your feelings, and a lot of people don't like to. But I'm a big advocate that, hey, if you need to cry, you just got to go cry. Like, if you need to go deal with your feelings, you got to go deal with your feelings. You can't keep it bottled up inside, because when you keep it bottled up inside, it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. And so eventually you break or you have an outburst. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why would you think that people struggle? I mean, not struggle, but people are more vulnerable with their friends instead of their family? Why would you think that's the thing?
I don't know. That's a hard question. That's a hard question to answer, to find out what you want from each other, you know, because you want something different from family and friends, right?
I guess so.
You'd want something different. So with friends, I feel like going out, having fun, something like that. Family is more of a comfort zone kind of thing. And friends are more of a have fun, get it off my mind type thing.
Yeah.
So,
I think like the difference between family and friends. So like with your friends, I guess it's more easy to be, I don't know. You know what? I actually don't know why it's more easy to be more comfortable with your friends. Now that I think about it, because now that I'm sitting in front of the mic, I thought I was going to have something dope to say. But now that I'm here, I'm thinking about it and it's like, it doesn't make sense to me. Because you were raised with your family since like you were born basically. And somehow you still find it to be kind of weird to be vulnerable with them. Maybe it's because of the way you were raised, I guess. And because I don't even know what it is for me, because I see myself being more vulnerable with my friends than my family. But I didn't have a bad childhood. So why do you think that is?
it's different. So when you get to like that, when you get to that point, when you go out on your own, you know,
Yeah.
who you with more when you're on your own? When you move out,
Oh yeah.
who are you with more?
Yeah.
You know,
That makes sense.
so I think that plays a big factor into it. So I feel like people, kids who are like not sheltered, but are at home until they're finished with college and started their career, they're
Yeah.
more vulnerable with their parents than they are their friends because they're always around their parents.
Yeah. I know some people who are always around their parents and they're more vulnerable with their parents. So I guess it is who you hang out with.
So like
more.
me, I think I moved out when I was 19. It was 18, 19.
Oh really?
I don't think I was 19. So,
Yeah. And I was never home. I was always like out.
and even when I was living with my mom, I wasn't. I was
yeah.
always doing something.
Me too. Yeah, you're right. That makes sense now.
So,
But I think that we need to find a way.
how many times have your parents were like, "Hey, we're about to go out to eat." Ah, dang. But friends, hey, I'm about to go out to eat. All right, I'm getting ready to run out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It's
true.
different.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
different,
But I think as not only people in like your group or your circle, but as a society, we need to find a way to be able to be more upfront about how we feel.
But don't have a circle. I don't feel like a circle. Well, no, not a circle, but
Because
like,
you can't tell everybody, because then you'll be on social media telling everybody your stuff.
oh yeah, no, I took what you said the wrong way.
Yeah. See what I'm
Because
saying?
I was saying like you were saying have your circle friend, like expand your circle all the time.
No. I'm saying, what I'm saying is that we need to normalize being able to be upfront about how you feel, but not only about how you feel, but also about what you think too. Like if someone wrong, cause, so you know how the Bible says, like if a brother has wronged you, or even sister too, if they have wronged you, to like make it known to them, like to try to to be able to like to talk about it and to find peace with it, I guess, or to deal with the situation. I forgot how the exact verse goes, but I know it says something like that. And I feel like we don't do that. That's why we hold grudges with people, because we don't ever tell them how we feel.
Yeah, and I'm totally against grudges because what do you gain from it?
Well, some people, we have to see where they're coming from too, though, because some people never.
I'm against
learn how
grudges. I'm not against like. I'm not gonna talk to you no more. That's cool. Do what you want. But if
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, oh, I don't like that person because this certain thing happened to me.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a distance between different subjects on that.
Yeah.
Because if you take a subject on he cheated on me, or he did this, or she did this, or she did this,
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's just one of those things that you went through with that person. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, why hold grudges?
Why
So you're
hold-
saying like,
Why hold grudges on one person
and then
when everybody goes through it?
no, what I was seeing when you were trying to.
Well, no, that was wrong worded.
What I was seeing what you're trying to say is like, why hold grudges, but then take it on to other people whenever one
Yeah.
person did you wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I guess it's because it's a pattern that people will go through. So obviously you have to understand where people are coming, because everything is like not everything is upfront. You know, not everything's skin deep. It goes deeper than that a lot of the times, and a lot of it has to do not just with subconscious things, but also spiritual things too as well. So that's why you have to take the time to. Me personally, I think you have to take the time to try to understand where they're coming from in this situation.
Actually, I do hold a grudge though. 2014 NFC divisional round. They said Dez didn't catch it. I hold a grudge against that referee because he did catch that ball.
We gonna find you.
He did catch that ball.
We gonna find you.
That was our year.
No, we think
That
every
was our
year is our
year.
year.
That was our year.
Nah, whatever.
If you're a Cowboy fan and you're listening, you know that was our year.
Nah, whatever.
If you're not a Cowboy fan and you're listening, you still know that was our year.
What?
Romo went off that year. we were going. We were like 12-4. Even though we were 12-4, there's also a thing: don't live in the past. So
What?
live in the future.
Yeah, but
Because this is our year this year.
oh my gosh, people do have to deal with their things though. I really believe in being able to not only deal with the things by yourself, but you also have to have some kind of support group because sometimes you can't do it by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you just can't. I mean, even Jesus didn't do it by himself.
12. He had 12.
You think you're better than Jesus?
He had 12 disciples.
I think not.
12 disciples.
That's right. So then,
Not 11, 12.
so then, if he couldn't do it by himself, then that means that obviously you can't do it by yourself.
Imagine, what if, that'd be crazy. Well, I know it was supposed to happen, but just think about what if like Judas didn't betray him.
I don't know.
I know it was gonna.
I never thought
It
of
was
that.
supposed to happen, but
Yeah, it was already written. Like it was like meant to
what
happen.
happens if he was just like, nah?
I don't know.
I'm not trying to question the Bible or anything. It's just like one of those.
No, that's
thoughts.
a good question.
It's one of those thoughts.
That gets into
What if
like,
Peter never walked to Jesus and when he was in the boat?
yeah, that gets into like predestination type of stuff. Like, you ever heard of that about that?
Yeah, where like people.
That's a whole nother podcast, though.
It's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, we're actually gonna have a special guest on for that episode.
I don't know about that. But anyways,
Anyway,
yeah. So how do y'all feel? Do y'all feel like y'all struggle with transparency? Do y'all feel like y'all struggle with being vulnerable? And which one is it? And if it's vulnerable, do you feel like you are more vulnerable with your friends or your family? And if you struggle with transparency, do you feel like you struggle being more honest with others or yourself? So these are questions. These are reflective questions that you can ask yourself, or maybe even reach out and tell us. Because
the inner circle pd@gmail.com.
Yeah. Or
And if you find yourself scrolling through Instagram, go ahead and
Yep.
click on that search bar and search the_inner circle podcast.
that's right.
And if you're on TikTok, go ahead and look.
Oh yeah, we're on TikTok, baby.
And if you're scrolling through TikTok, which is dang near half of the population on Earth,
Yep.
go ahead and hit that search bar and look at Inner Circle Podcast
And we're on YouTube.
at the Inner Circle Podcast.
I made it all uniform, so any
It's all uniform.
place you go, you can just type it in and you'll find us.
And we trademarked our sayings, so
Yeah. Not yet.
Yes.
We will though. TM.
TM.
Can't take it.
yeah, too much. I'm just
So, yeah.
But it's a pretty good episode.
Yeah.
This episode, when it drops, it will be on Labor Day.
Be on
So,
Labor Day. So
hopefully, if you're
I know
listening,
y'all ain't got nothing to do that day. Don't play with me.
if
Y'all
you're
ain't got
listening to
work.
this on Labor Day and you're off work, enjoy your day. Have this nice little 35-minute podcast
Yeah. It's almost like 30 minutes.
and enjoy the little words of wisdom,
yes.
especially if
Reflective
you're a Cowboy
questions.
fan, because this is our year.
Y'all say that every year, but it's all good. We'll see.
Keep the trend going every year.
Keep the train going.
Keep it going
keep the faith,
until
guys.
we're right.
Until we're right. We'll be right eventually.
We'll be right one of these years. One of these years, we're going to be right. And then I'm going to look at everybody who wasn't a Cowboy fan and be like, I told you.
Told you. Got you.
Told you.
Well, that's pretty much it, guys. Just the reflective questions real quick. We're just trying to put out a little a little podcast for y'all real quick. Just something y'all can think about. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
So, yeah, just reach out and hope
Merch
you
is
enjoy.
coming soon, by the way.
Yeah, merch.
Coming soon. Buy
Make
it.
sure you put it aside in your bank account. At
Rep
least,
it. Let's go.
at least 100. If you spend
at least
if you spend $100 at the merch store, we'll give you one item for free.
we'll give you a coupon, $1 off.
We'll let you sit in. We'll let you sit in on one of our podcasts.
But you can't talk
Yeah, you can't talk,
at all.
and you can't talk to us either.
You can't even
Like right when we're done, you have to leave.
Yeah, and you can't
just
drink. You can't eat. You can't even breathe. Honestly,
Like
you
don't
can
even-
just look through the window.
You're gonna have to wear a blindfold. You could just look through the window, and the shades are closed.
The shades are closed. You can just listen from afar.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
It's been
that's it.
real,
it's been real.
but I ain't been.
But it's
Wait,
been-
dang! I messed up our own trademark.
It's been real, and it's been fun.
but it ain't been real fun.
That's right.
TM.
TM.
Turning that into a shirt.
All right. We'll see y'all later.